this beautiful Monday, man. It's a celebration Monday for some. I guess you got to lick your wounds and get ready to get back at it this weekend. But for now, Vandy, it's your day. Have it. Enjoy it. Relish in it. Vols go down 19-14 against Arkansas, but we're speaking about Alabama going down 40-35. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the reverse. Vandy beating Alabama 40-35. That's more like it. Waiting on our guy who will be with us shortly, Coach Clark Lea, to join us, Vanderbilt's football coach. He will join us and speak on it. But if you didn't get the opportunity to listen to the Dan Patrick Show earlier.
Oh, my gosh.
There's some clips out on social media right now, Babsy, with Pavia talking. Yeah.
Diego, well, first of all, he said, well, I won't tell you. He was asked about smack talk from Alabama. He said, I won't tell you what they said because I can't curse. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he got in some trouble for the F-bomb he let go during that post game. But how about him? Because maybe people don't realize the story behind him, too. Because I covered New Mexico State. That first game, they came off a bowl win. Jared Kill gets a tattoo on his arm. Yeah. You know, and a massive tattoo, by the way. And so, the year before. And so then they come back. It's their very first game of the year last year. And Diego Pavia is the quarterback or whatever. They end up losing to UMass.
Wow.
So from a little over a year ago, Diego Pavia is the quarterback, loses to UMass after a record season that, New Mexico State was the worst team in college football. And then they came back and won a bowl game under Jerry Kill with Pavia, and then lose their very first game to UMass. And, he ends up now at Vanderbilt, but then they go beat Auburn. But just to hear his story, and he goes from that a little over a year ago to now being at Vanderbilt, upsetting the number one team in the country, and just the swagger on this kid is unbelievable. And on the Dan Patrick Show, we just listened to some of it during the break, and he talked about, Jerry Kill, and he was like, I'll follow him. Yeah. All right, Nashville it is. Yeah.
See you in Nashville. Yeah,
just
then
crazy.
Talking about they asked him about the coin toss. Like, when did you know that you would you guys were gonna be in this game or have a win? And was Alabama talking trash? He was like, from the coin toss. They came out and was talking reckless and some things that I can't even say on air because again I can't cuss. Yeah, so he made sure to put that point out there. But at the same time, you also heard him say, "We'll see." We'll see. So in a we'll see mode, and I think a lot of people, the eyes are on them now. We're joined by the one and only, man, our guy, Coach Clark Lea, joining us right now. Coach, great victory, Vanderbilt's own. How you feeling, brother?
Oh, man, I'm feeling good. It's always good to win, right? So a little bit more pep in the step, and just there's an energy around this program right now that I've been desperate for, and to realize it feels really good now in true coaching style. Like, I'm already anxious about Saturday. So, I was joyful for about 12 to 14 hours after the game. And then I got right back into that mode of, we're going to need to play our best this weekend on the road to have a chance against Kentucky. And I think that's probably right where I need to be.
No, Coach. Coach, you do realize.
You guys are going to try to draw me out of that, and I don't appreciate it,
Hell yeah, we are. Are you kidding me? You got a quarterback that has the most swagger I've ever seen out of any quarterback in college football. You just upset the number one team in the country, and not only did you upset them, you beat them. It's not like it was a last minute. I mean, from start to finish, you played better than them. You beat them. So no way, Coach. We're not letting you go, oh, well, it's nice to get a win. No way, Coach. We're not doing that on this show.
Okay, let's talk about it then. What did we think? We thought we played pretty well, huh? Diego Pavia is a good dude, huh?
Yeah,
how about him?
Great dude. Before you even get to him, though, because he's been getting the praise, I want to ask you about this first drive. I'm sitting there on the back porch, got my bourbon poured up, cigar in hand, and I'm watching this first drive. And when you guys got down there, I think about 5 yards out, you gave it to Cedric Alexander. He stood up, the linebacker, at about the 3-yard mark. And it was a standoff. And all of a sudden, the O-line comes behind him and pushes him and the rest of Alabama's football team inside the end zone, and it was like, the tone is set. What was the thought after that?
Well, I mean, like you, I did not have my bourbon at that point, nor did I have my cigar. But I mean, we set a tone physically that was important. You know, that the part of the game that gets me most excited is feeling like that we were the more physical team on the field, and that is not to say anything about Alabama, because that's a really good team. It's a well coached team. It's a physical team. It's a tough team. But I thought our guys just had the right mentality, and that drive was important to back it up with the 3-and-out and the pick six.
Yes.
You just in those moments realize, like, all right, here we go. Like, you never know how the start's going to go. You're just trying to figure out where's the energy at, and how do we shift the energy to where it needs to be. Our guys came out with the right mentality, and sometimes too, when you start fast like that, you know there's going to be a counter punch. So you're just trying to stay level with it. But it was excitement throughout 4 quarters, and it wasn't. I mean, look, there's things we need to do better and all that kind of stuff. But I was really proud of our players. They were ready. They seized the moment. They played physically and tough. They played together, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Pavia here. So it's funny because when he transferred there, I had covered him at New Mexico State last year, worked some of their games on the sideline, and I came back and I told the boys, I'm like, dude, if I'm ever in like an alley fight, Pavia is the one that I am taking with me, like just gangster from the get-go. Now the entire country knows about his swagger. I'm sure you had a conversation with him about the post-game, interview. But how would you describe your quarterback?
Well, he's genuine and authentic to who he is. Now, I'll tell you that like Diego's like a really good guy. And so when my kids are up here, and they'll come up often after school just to say hello and hang out. Sometimes one of them will have an athletic event that my wife is taking them to, so they'll kind of set up shop here and sit in my office and color or whatever. Inevitably, when the guys come back from meetings, they end up playing mini hoop basketball in the linebacker meeting room with Diego, and it's always like, or they're playing dodgeball in the hall with Diego. So he's like, he's a really good person with a great heart. He's also very serious about his process, and he's a pro when it comes to like, just having his head down, going to work. Yeah. He's a vocal leader, but he's not the loudest guy in the room. He sits front and center in the team meetings, front row, center seat. When I call the team up after practice, he is always immediately in front of me, locked in the whole time, and always carries my message back to the team. So there's so many things about him outside of his competitive personality that allow for him to play with such confidence on the field. And I think that's so important. And it's been the coolest part of kind of seeing him work and being a part of this with him is he kind of validates everything that you preach as a coach, that confidence is born of process and investment. And he also is a great connector with his teammates. Sometimes with as big of his competitive personality is, that that could be distracting, but our guys are so drawn to him and connected to him. There's such friendship and relationship built there that he doesn't feel like someone who's only been here for 6 months. He feels like he's been here for 4 years, and that's a really important part of his team impact too. So all those things to say that, the swagger he plays with, the confidence he has on the field, the edge he plays with, all of that is important to our success, and all of it is needed. I think it's something we've missed, to be honest with you. I felt like out of the 22 team, we lost 2 players that had that kind of mentality in Mike Wright and Anthony Orji. And Mike, really won us some games, I think, in the same mode where he was kind of willing the team, in an alpha personality. I think Diego embodies a lot of that too. So we benefit from his edge, his swagger. He gives confidence to everybody. When the ball's in his hands, we have a chance. He's proven that, and I'm damn glad to have him be a part of this program.
No doubt. He's fun. And now the entire country knows how much fun he is. Coach, I'm curious. We had Alyssa Lang on earlier in our show just to talk about, her perspective and all of that. And she brought up a point too, where, in the past, maybe you would look at halftime and say, okay, here's Vandy's here, but can they finish? Because sometimes I think people watching a game will say, well, Vandy doesn't finish. Clearly not a problem for this program now and for this team. I'm curious what your message was to your team at halftime.
Well, first of all, there was a lot of energy in the locker room, which I expected there to be. And there was a lot of confidence. And to be honest with you, that's been the same the narrative of us playing close and not finishing doesn't really fit what we put on film for 5 weeks now, because in every game that we've played, we have battled. And even when we've come up short, there's been a fight and a lot of times a lead, that we haven't been able to hold on to. So to me, the emotion of it and the spirit of it in years past, I would have tried to make sure I'm drawing every ounce of emotion out of the team, because I felt like at the team, there were so many guys that were so committed and had such belief. And then there were some that didn't. And it only takes 2 or 3 to pull the soul of the team away. It's just the way it is. In this instance, I waited as long as I could, because I didn't want to have a lot of stagnant time on the field. I whistled the guys up. Normally I'll talk to them standing up at half. And this instance, I had them take a knee and take their helmets off. And I got them quiet and still, and we sat for like 10 seconds, which feels like an eternity in those moments when you're in the locker room, in silence. And I just looked them in the eye at that entire time. And I said, listen, this is about going and finishing the game. This is about not anything extra, and it's not anything emotional. Like, all of that is going to be there for you. It's about going out, down in, down out, stop by stop, possession by possession, playing to an identity, playing to a strategy, and playing clean football and having a focus about you. And on the back end of that is all the glory you want, right? That's kind of the message. And, it was the right thing for that moment. And part of that, again, is just the confidence I have in the spirit of this team, that I want to make sure we maintain a focus on what execution requires of us. And sometimes that means we have to calm a little bit so that we're not making it bigger than it is.
Coach Clark Lea joining us, Vandy head coach, coming off a big-time victory, getting ready for this weekend, going to Kentucky. Coach, you've done a great job of always being able to shed the light on the players, but we haven't been able to talk to you since SEC Media Day. I want to go back real quick, if you could. What did you do, self-check-wise, as far as looking inner self, and then being able to, because the reflection of these players is of you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But you had to check yourself first to walk into this season and be able to pull everything out of these guys. What did you do that you think turned the page for you?
I've changed a lot, and I would say it's evolution. I think part of that is just part of doing the job another year. I think every year you kind of learn more about what being effective in this role looks like. I think also just the landscape of our sport is forcing. It's kind of evolve or die, it's just the way it is. And I'm young enough to where I can kind of still bridge generationally. I think I'm young enough, at least. I think you guys would agree with that.
I'm right there with you. Yes,
you're
young enough, baby.
Y'all got to be careful, because you don't, because I think 43 may be doing all right on this call, but but anyway,
over under, coach, over under. Stay focused, man. Stay focused.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So here's the deal. We've gone into this world of transaction, and we're not all the way where we need to be, but we ventured into it. And I think before we kind of got to this point, I was really worried about being a transformational coach in a transactional world. And what I've realized is that the transaction actually produces a level of engagement within the program. It's like you don't want your players to feel like they're getting shorted any opportunity. And right now, this is the opportunity. So what I understand now is that actually having NIL as a part of our program creates a spirit within the program where the players feel supported. And so now all of a sudden, rather than feel like they're maybe distracted by what they're not getting, they understand exactly what it is. And it's something we can kind of move past and focus on the ball. I still get like the choice to be transformational and care about people and, set certain expectations and certain standards. I've also shifted everything in my process to be focused on winning. So we in the wintertime, me and kind of our leadership staff went through our whole mission, vision, values, and just kind of evaluated. And our belief statement, that we had come up with, in the first year was a really eloquent, long, beautiful statement, but we deleted it. And the belief here is that we're here to win. That's it. And now we measure everything, every dollar we spend, every decision we make. We measure it against what does winning ask of us. And so that means we're going to put our 11 best players on the field. I've had to learn some patience with certain things that don't undercut our mission of winning, but are examples of me needing to be patient with the growth of an individual or to mentor through some off the field mistakes. Like those are things that I'm evolving with. And as long as when we line up on Saturday, I've got 11 guys on the field that are in support of and focused on the mission, which is winning. And again, we're mentoring through the growth that needs to happen on a personal level. That's really where I've shifted focus, and that and the transactional aspects that we didn't really have been important in the growth, and then hiring a new strength coach, hiring a new offensive coordinator, taking over the defense are all things that have supported the mission too. So by the time I got to January, Ron, I was excited to coach, and I was reinvigorated and ready to go coach, and I kind of haven't looked back since then.
Man, that's awesome. I love how you just kind of glossed over, taking over a play calling on defense. Yeah. That's a big one too. Just real quick on the way out, Coach, I know we got to get you out of here, but to the point of you saying what matters is winning and making sure that every dollar spent is towards that goal. How has Candice Lee Story kind of helped you in this new mission statement and what she's been able to do to bring you in, to hire you, and to give you what you need?
Well, understand that what I needed in 21 when I got here and what I need now is a totally different conversation. And so, and I think both of us, and I don't think we talk about this, that we both evolved so much. This isn't about her hiring me coming off the 2020 season and me being ready-made to be the coach that is going to deliver what we've envisioned and the vision we share, right? It's about me growing and evolving and continually adapting, and then communicating with her. Hey, this is what it's going to cost, or this is what it's going to be, or this is what we need. And the cool thing to me is she's such a great competitor, and God, she loves Vanderbilt so much, and she understands that our program in this new era of college athletics is going to be the flag bearer and needs to be driving the revenue for the department. And so we need to support this program at a level that puts us on equal footing with our peers. And we've got a lot of ground to make up, because if we were going to say one thing about this program and its past, and we all know this on the call, it's not been supported at that level. And there's decades of futility that demonstrate that. The reason I came here is because I believe in Candice, and I believe that the bones of this thing, the top 15 school, the SEC, and Nashville it's a niche that needs to be leveraged. And as long as we're getting supported and resourced at a level that allows us to be competitive, there's no limitations on what we can build over time. I signed a contract extension after year 2. Candice understands that this is a long-term effort, and because we've opened up and we've started into this NIL and transfer portal world, we've actually covered ground a little faster. The cool thing that both she and I have expressed is, we haven't lost our values and identity along the way. This is a team, and Ron, I think you said it, this team perfectly represents who we are, what we're about. I got an email from a professor on Saturday night talking about, having 5 football players in her classroom and how they all, that she had a guest and they all came up and introduced themselves, and she's so impressed with how respectful. It's just like that. That's what Vanderbilt football should be about. We want to be the best in the classroom, and we want to be a bunch of ass kickers on the field. And, that's what we're going to become. And, I'm proud of that. So Candice she's a rock. I don't know. Look, people, whether they pay attention or not, she's one of the toughest leaders that I know. She is, pulling this department up with her own 2 hands, and she's started to align all the different components of this department with her vision, which is really exciting. That everyone's kind of resetting expectations here, and then she's got my back with respect to the things I need to do to keep growing the football part of it. And I couldn't have a better partnership. I talked about her in the press conference after the game, and I couldn't talk about her without getting emotional. That is the depth of connection that we have. And I don't think there's another head coach and another AD in the country that share that kind of connection. And it's pretty special.
No doubt. Well, Coach, I know what you're going to do. You're going to hang up and you're going to go game plan for Kentucky.
Go get them, Coach.
But thanks for reliving what is a historic win, and congratulations. I know that your team enjoyed it, and isn't it nice when that hard work pays off?
Oh yeah, and listen, I don't need to talk about it anymore, but you guys can. So y'all keep selling it. I think every episode or every show this week, you should have some segment on Vanderbilt football is winning against Alabama.
I got you. I
love it. All right, Coach, we'll do that for you. Thank you. Guys. Congratulations.
Y'all take care.
You too.
See ya.
We'll see ya.
All right.
Okay, we are way over. We got to go to a break.
Clark Lea, Babs.
We'll talk about it right after this break.